Good morning, guys. In the last session, we discussed about variables and data types in Typescript. We discussed about variables and data types in Typescript. Data types are used to specify the type of the data that we can store into variables. Data types are used to specify Data types are used to specify type of data type of data that we can store into variable. Data types are used to specify the type of the data that we can store into variable. Data types are used to specify type of data that we can store into variable. In the TypeScript, what are the data types available? In TypeScript, we have below four data types. We have below four data types. What are those four data types? First one is number, second one is string, third one is boolean, fourth one is any, fourth one is any. Data types are used to specify type of data that we can store into variable. How many types of variables we have? How many types of data types we have? We have four types of data types. What are those four types? One is number, second one is string, third one is boolean, fourth one is any. Fourth one is any. What is a variable? Variable is used to store the value. Variable is used to store the value. Variable is used to store the value. What is the syntax to store the variables? What is the syntax to declare the variables? Where variable name colon data type is equal to value. Okay, this is how we are going to declare variables in the TypeScript, where variable name colon data type is equal to value. Then how to deal with that? Suppose if I want to declare a age variable, then I will go for where age colon number is equal to 20. Age colon number is equal to 20. Now I can specify where name colon string is equal to some ram. Okay. Now next one, where colon is emp boolean is equal to false. Like this we can store all the values of the variables. We can declare the variables. Whenever we are declaring a variable, we'll specify data type. How many types of data types we have in the TypeScript? Four types of data types we have. Number we have, string we have, boolean we have, any we have. Data type is used to specify type of the data that we can store into variable. Variable is used to store the value. How to declare the variables? This is the syntax to declare the variables. And here we are giving some examples to declare the variables. Here we are giving some examples to declare the variables. Good, good. Now, next one. There is one important question related to where keyword, let keyword, and constant keywords in the JavaScript. Okay, what is where in the JavaScript? Here we are using where keyword. What is where keyword in the JavaScript or TypeScript? Let's understand. What is where keyword? Where keyword is used to declare the variables. What is the purpose of where? Where keyword is used to declare the variables. Where keyword is used to declare the variables. What is the where? Where keyword is used to declare the variables. Where keyword is functional scope. Where keyword is functional scope. Where keyword is functional scope. Now, let me take one simple example and let's try to understand what is happening with the where. What is happening with the where keyword. Now, let me open our Visual Studio Code IDE to write the programs. I'm opening Visual Studio Code IDE to develop our programs. Okay. Good. Already here we have created some examples. Okay. Now let me take one TS file. Let me take one TS file. New, that is var demo.ts. I'm creating a file with a name called var demo.ts. In that file, I will declare a variable and I will write a function and I will print the variable value in the function and I will call that function and I will call that function. Guys, observe. I think IDE is taking time to create it. Yeah, var demo.ts, that file got created. Do I have anything in this ts file or we don't have anything? We don't have anything. Let me take var pet name colon string is equal to dog, where pet name is equal to where pet name colon string is equal to dog. Is this the valid declaration of a variable? Yes. Where keyword I'm using to declare the variable, pet name is the variable name, string is equal to dog. Where pet name colon string is equal to dog, I have declared a variable. Now I'm going to I'm going to write one function set pet name. I'm writing one function set pet name. Set pet name. Then what I'm doing is where pet name colon string is equal to cat. Okay. Inside the function, my pet name is cat. Outside the function, my pet name is dog. Now let me call console dot log off inside function. Inside function, what I will do is I'm printing that pet name. I'm printing that pet name. Okay, good, very good. Next, here I'm going to write set pet name. I'm calling the function. I'm calling the function called set pet name. After that, I'm writing console.log off printing the pet name outside the function. Outside the function, what is the pet name outside the function? Outside function, I'm printing pet name. Outside the function, I'm printing the pet name. Now can you guys please tell me what is the output of this program? Inside the function, what is the pet name? Outside of the function, what is the pet name? First I had declared where pet name string is equal to dog, where pet name colon string is equal to dog. Function pet name. Inside the function, I have given the pet name as cat. Cat is printing. And I'm calling the function so that that console statement will be executed. Then I'm writing console.log outside the function. Now I want to compile. TSC space var demo.ts. Transpilation I'm doing. Transpilation I'm doing. Transpilation I'm doing. Okay, now can I compile directly? Node var demo.js. Inside the function, it is cat. Outside the function, it is dog. Inside the function, it is cat. Outside the function, it is dog. Inside the function, it is cat. Outside the function, it is dog. It is changing the value of the index. It is changing the value of the variable. Where pet name colon string is equal to dog, set pet name string cat, console.log. Inside the function, it is taking the cat. Then I'm calling set pet name. Then that is printed console.log. Outside the function, I have taken dog is printed. Very good. Next, let me take where index is equal to 0. Where index is equal to 0. Okay, now I can specify as a number or no need to specify. That is a default value that I'm taking where index is equal to 0. Then I'm writing a variable for where index is equal to 0, index less than equal to 5, index less than equal to 5. Then index plus plus, index plus plus, index plus plus. Okay, console.log of console.log of inside index inside index for loop inside index inside for loop index inside for loop. What is the value of the index value inside the for loop I'm taking? Okay, inside the index I'm printing the for loop. Inside outside for loop index value outside for loop. After this I'm writing console dot log of index value outside for loop index value outside for loop index value outside for loop index value inside for loop index value inside the for loop index value outside the for loop. Are you guys able to see? Where index is equal to 0, then I have taken index is equal to 0 here, index less than or equal to 5, then index plus plus index value inside the for loop index value outside the for loop. Now check it, what is going to happen. tsc space var demo dot ts tsc space var demo dot ts tsc space var demo dot ts. Good. Now node of var demo dot js index value outside the loop is also modified or not? Index value outside of the variable also modified or not? Index value outside the variable also modified. This is the loophole. Actually index value should be modified only inside the loop, but is it modifying outside the loop also? Index value is modified outside the loop also. That's why we are saying that where keyword is a functional scope, it is modifying the value outside of that also. It is modifying that value outside of the also. Within the function it is using. Within the function it is using. But here when I use a loop, there is no function, right? Where index is equal to 0, then I'm using a where keyword and I used the same variable here where index is equal to 0, index is 0. When I access the variable outside of the index, what value should come? 0 value should come. But actually what value is coming? 6 is coming. 6 is coming. 6 is coming. Are you able to understand? 6 is coming. So is it modifying the value outside the loop also, or it is not modifying the value outside the loop also? It is modifying the value outside the loop also. This is one of the drawback with the where keyword in the JavaScript or in the TypeScript. TypeScript is a superset of the JavaScript. TypeScript is a superset of the JavaScript. Okay, are you able to understand this? Are you able to understand this? Come on, what is the problem here? What is the problem here? It is modifying the index variable value outside of the loop also. It is modifying the index value outside of the variable also. Simple example. Simple example. Now I'm going to take one variable value. I'm going to take one variable value. Okay. Here I'm taking one variable value, right? Var demo dot ts. Var demo dot ts. Where index is equal to 0, where index is equal to 0, then I'm writing console.log of index value plus index. What should be the output? 0. What should be the output? 0. Expected output is 0 or not? Expected output is 0. Expected output is 0. I have declared a index variable and I have initialized the 0 value to the index variable. And I'm printing that variable value console.log index value expected output is 0. Very good. As of now, no problem. Here I'm writing one loop for where index is equal to 0. This is another variable where index is equal to 0. Index less than or equal to 5 comma index plus plus, where index is equal to 0, index less than or equal to 5, index plus plus. Okay, console.log console.log of index value inside for loop, index value inside for loop, print it, print it, index value inside for loop. Then what will happen? It is going to print from 0 1 2 3 4 5. It is going to print from 0 1 2 3 4 5. Is there any change happening to the index variable outside? No change. Then what is the expected output I am getting? What is the expected output? What is the output that I am expecting? 0. They have written a for loop. They have written a for loop. Inside the for loop, they have taken an index variable and they are incrementing that variable. They are printing the value. With this, with this, with this, with this for loop, with this for loop, with this for loop, is there any impact on the index variable? That should be index variable modified or index variable should not be modified? Index variable should be modified or index variable should not be modified? Index variable should not be modified. But output what I am getting, output what I am getting, output what I am getting for the outside index, outside the loop, what is the output that I am getting? Outside the loop, what is the value that I'm getting? Outside the loop, I'm getting the value as a 6. So is it the drawback of the where keyword or it is not the drawback of the where keyword? Where keyword should not allow that to modify this variable value, but the variable value got modified. This is the drawback in the where keyword. This is the drawback in the where keyword. Are you able to understand? Now, to overcome this drawback, they introduced one keyword called let keyword. To overcome this drawback, they introduced one keyword called let keyword. Now let me create one file, letdemo.ts. Letdemo.ts. Now see here, where index is equal to 0. Where index is equal to 0. Console.log of index value, index value. What is the output it should print now? 0. 0 it should print. Let's try this. tsc space tsc space let demo dot ts, tsc space let demo dot ts, tsc space let demo dot ts, node space let demo. Index value is 0 expected. Now let me write one loop here for where index, for let, not where, for let index is equal to 0, index less than or equal to 5 and index plus plus, index plus plus, console dot log of, console dot log of index value inside for loop, index value inside for loop. Okay, index value outside for loop, index value inside for loop and index value outside for loop. Now compile this program. tsc space let demo.ts, tsc space let demo.ts, tsc space let demo.ts, tsc space let demo.js, ts, sorry, node space, not ts guys, node space. To execute it, node command. Okay, first let me compile this. tsc space let demo dot ts, tsc space let demo dot ts, tsc space let demo dot ts, tsc space let demo dot ts. Good. Yeah. Next, node space let demo dot js. What is the index value outside of the for loop? Is it modified or it is not modified? It is not modified. It is not modified. Are you guys able to understand the difference between where keyword and let keyword? Whenever I go for where keyword, the index value is modifying outside also. Inside the where keyword, the value is modified outside also. This is my where demo. where index is equal to 0, where index is equal to 0. Inside the loop, the value should be modified, no problem. But why it is modifying outside? That is the drawback. That is the drawback. When you go for let keyword, let demo.ts, here inside the loop I value is modifying, but outside the loop I value is modifying or I value is not modifying. I value is not modified because let keyword is only block scope. Within the block only it is going to make the changes. Outside the block there is no impact. So the block started here, the block ended here. Within the block only it is going to consider the index variable. Outside the index variable will not be modified. Even you can declare that as a let also. Let keyword. Right now, whenever you use let keyword, whenever we use let keyword, it is not modifying the value outside the loop. It is modifying the value only inside the loop. It is modifying the value only inside the loop. Are you guys able to understand? Are you guys able to understand? Come on. The differences. The differences between where and let. Okay. Where is a functional scope whereas let is a block scope. Where is a functional scope whereas let is a functional scope. Now let me write one more thing. Function. Let me write one more thing to show you whether it is modifying inside the function or outside the function. Function display. I'm writing function display. Inside this I'm writing let message colon string is equal to, let message colon string is equal to welcome to Ashok IT. I'm declaring let message colon string welcome to Ashok IT. Now it is a function. It is a function. Inside the function, I'm going to write one block. Inside the function, I'm going to write one block. Let message colon string is equal to welcome to Angular. Welcome to Angular. Welcome to Angular. This is the block. Inside the function, we have a let variable. And inside the block also, we have a let variable. Let a message colon string inside the block and outside the block. Inside the block, let me print this message. Console dot log off inside block. Inside block message value. Inside the block message value. Then outside the block, I'm going to print the message value. Outside the block, I'm going to print the message value. Console dot log off outside block, outside block message value. Let me print it as a message. Then how to execute a function? Let's call this. Let's call this display dot log. Display dot log. Okay, good. Now console dot log off. Just one line to separate. Now guys, you see there is a function called display. Inside the display function I used let keyword. Inside the function I used let keyword. What is the value that message variable holding welcome to Ashok IT. Then I have a block. Inside the block also I have a message keyword, message variable string welcome to Angular. Outside the block, welcome to Ashok IT. Inside the block, welcome to Angular. Now, inside the block, outside the block. Outside the block, variable value should be modified, or outside the block, variable value should not be modified. Should not be modified. Now, I have a function. Let's see is this function is going to execute or not. In order to execute the function, what I am doing, I'm calling the function display method. I am calling. Now, good. tsc space let demo dot ts, tsc space let demo dot ts, let demo dot ts. I'm compiling this. Node space let demo dot js. node space let demo dot js. Inside the block, welcome to Angular. Outside the block, welcome to Ashok IT. Is it modifying the value or it is not modifying the value? Outside the block, is it modifying the value or it is not modifying the value? Guys, come on. Outside the block, is it modifying the value or it is not modifying the value? Come on. Is it modifying the value or it is not modifying the value? Not modifying the value. So the let keyword effect will be there only within the block or outside the block. Let keyword effect will be there only within the block. Let keyword effect will be there only within the block. So can I say let is a block scope? Can I say let is a block scope? That effect will be there whenever you use a let keyword, that effect will be there only within the block. So we can say that let keyword is a black scope. Let keyword is a black scope. Very good. Now suppose if I change this let keyword as a where keyword, can I replace let keyword as a where keyword? I replaced let keyword as a where keyword, where message within the function, and I have a block, and I'm inside the block, I'm changing message to welcome to Angular. Then outside the block I'm printing. Now what is the output will print inside the block and outside the block? What is the value will print inside the block and outside the block? See that? Observe, observe. TSC space, TSP, TSC space let demo dot TS, TSC space let demo dot TS. I'm compiling, transpiling. I'm compiling the TS file to JS file. Now node space let demo dot JS. Welcome to Angular. Welcome to Angular. So it is changing. It is changing. Inside the block, whatever the value is available, outside the block, whatever the value is there, both are became same. Is it going to override the variable value within the function? Yes, it is going to override the variable value within the function. Now, can I say where keyword is working within the function and let keyword is working within the block? Now, if I declare one more variable where message colon string, where message colon string is equal to good afternoon, where message colon string is equal to good afternoon, then I will print console dot log of message. This is outside the function. This is outside function message value. Outside the function I'm writing message value. If I write the message value outside the function, what value will be available? Welcome to Angular will be available or good afternoon will be available? If it print welcome to Angular, where keyword is working. If it is printing good afternoon, where keyword is not working. So what is the output? What is the output will print now? What is the output will print now? Good afternoon. If it is printing good afternoon, that means where is a functional scope or not? Within the function only it is working. TSC space let to demo dot TS. TSC space let to demo dot TS. Guys, see here, good afternoon value is printing as it is or not. Suppose if I call the function first, if I call the function first, now see, will there be any difference? TSC space let to demo dot TS. TSC space let to demo dot TS. ts space let demo dot ts, then node space let demo dot js. Inside the block, welcome to Angular. Outside the block, welcome to Angular. Outside the function, good afternoon. So where is working outside the function or where is not working outside the function? Where is not working outside the function? Where is working only within the function? Where is working only within the function? Are you able to understand this? Are you able to understand this? Where is working only within the function? Okay, now let me give this as let keyword. Let keyword is a block scope. Let keyword is a block scope. Now if you go for where, now you see here where set name is equal to pet name is equal to dog. Within the function pet name is equal to cat, call pet name. Outside the function, what is happening? Dog is coming. Dog is, it is modifying only within the function, it is modifying. Where is a functional scope, whereas let is a black scope. Guys, do you understand when to go for where and when to go for let? If you want to use variable, if you want to use a variable only within the block, then go for let. If you want to use the variable within the function, then go for where. Where is functional scope, whereas let is black scope. Where is functional scope, whereas let is black scope. Now in this, in the above example, in the above example, in the above example, index value outside loop. In the above example, index value index value will be printed as 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Outside the loop, outside the loop, index value will be printed as 6. It is modified. It is modified. This is the drawback in the where keyword. Index outside the loop also, index value will be changed. That is the drawback in the where. To overcome the drawback of the where keyword, we are using let keyword. Now where demo dot ts. Whatever the example that I have taken for where, I'm giving you this. Where demo dot ts. Okay, index value outside for loop also getting modified. Now where keyword working as a functional scope. To overcome drawback of where keyword, they introduced let keyword. Let keyword is block scope. Let keyword is block scope let keyword is block scope. It will modify the value of the variable only within the block. Outside the block, variable value will not have any impact. Now let demo dot ts. Let me take this. Let demo dot ts. Let demo dot ts. This is the program that I'm writing inside the let demo. Let demo. Okay. Right, outside the block message value, inside the block message value. Okay, first I'm taking a loop index value 0, index value inside the loop, index value outside the loop, it remains 0 because within the block only impact will be available. Outside the block impact will not be available. Then function display message welcome to Ashok IT, message welcome to Angular. Inside the block, I'm changing the value. Outside the block, the value remains Ashok IT. It remains Ashok IT. It remains welcome to Ashok IT. It remains. It remains welcome to Ashok IT. It remains welcome to Ashok IT. Okay. So here conclusion, where is functional scope, whereas let is black scope. outside the value index, outside the value it is index. Where is functional scope? Where is functional scope? Where keyword is functional scope. Where keyword is functional scope, whereas let keyword is black scope. Where demo.ts file I have given. To overcome the drawbacks of the where, they introduced a let keyword. To overcome the drawbacks of the where keyword, they introduced a let keyword. How to declare the let keyword variable? Let keyword is used to declare the variable. Let keywords are black scopes. Let keywords are black scopes. Are you guys able to understand? Where keyword, where keyword is functional scope, function scope, whereas let keyword is black scope. Where keyword is function scope, whereas let keyword is black scope in the JavaScript. Are you guys able to understand the difference between where and let? Very important interview question. Very important interview question. What is the difference between where keyword and let keyword? What is the difference between where keyword and let keyword? Cool. Yeah. Then another one is one more important keyword is available. What is constant keyword in the JavaScript? What is constant keyword? Const keyword. What is constant keyword? In the interview, they will ask a question like this. What is the difference between where, let, and constant? What is the difference between where, let, and constant? Constant keyword is used to declare constant variables in the TypeScript. In the Java, to declare a constant, we will use a final keyword. In the JavaScript, to declare a constant, we will use constant keyword. Constant keyword, constant keyword is used to declare constant variables, declare constant variables in JavaScript. Constant keyword is used to declare constant variables in JavaScript. Right? Whenever you declare a constant variable, initialization is a mandatory. For constant variables, initialization is mandatory. That means whenever you declare the variable, immediately you have to store the value to the variable. Whenever you declare the variable, immediately you need to store the value into the variable. Right now, once we declare a constant variable, we can't modify the value. We can't modify the value of constant variables. We cannot modify the value for constant variables. It is something like a final variable in the Java. We can't modify the value for constant variables in JavaScript. Similarly, in the TypeScript also you can use where keyword, let keyword, and constant keyword. Where keyword, let keyword, and constant keywords. Where keyword is function scope, let keyword is black scope. Then what is constant? Constant keyword is used to declare constant variables in JavaScript. For constant variables, initialization is mandatory. Once you declare the constant variables, we cannot modify the value for constant variables in the JavaScript. We can't modify the value for constant variables in the JavaScript. Are you guys able to follow this? Yeah, let me take one example on this. Let me take one example on constant demo where let constant. Okay, constant demo dot ts, constant demo dot ts. So if you declare your variable as a constant variable, you can't modify the value of the constant variable. Constant name string is equal to Ashok IT. Constant name string is equal to Ashok IT. Console dot log of name. Console dot log of name. Now go to terminal. Go to terminal. Now tsc space tsc space constant demo dot ts tsc space constant demo dot ts constant demo dot ts. Okay, good. To your name was also declared here. Declare constant name p name constant p name. Okay, now here name is a reserved word, that is the reason can't use the name there, so I'm using p name, that is a person name. Constant p name colon string is equal to Ashok IT console.log of p name tsc space constant demo dot ts tsc space constant demo dot ts tsc space constant demo dot ts node space constant demo dot js. Are you able to print that value? Yes, we are printing. Now let me change the value Ashok IT school. I'm trying to change the value of the variable. Okay. tsc space constant demo dot ts. Compile. I'm trying to compile that program. I'm trying to compile that program. I'm trying to modify the value of constant variable. Cannot assign the p name because it is a constant. Cannot assign the value because it is a constant. So is it allowing us to modify the constant variable value, or it is not allowing us to modify the constant variable value? Is it allowing us to modify the constant variable value, or it is not allowing us to modify the constant variable value? It is not allowing. So can I say constant variables are fixed values? Yes. Suppose I don't initialize this variable. I don't initialize this variable. I'm trying to initialize in the next line. Is it going to allow or not? Let's check it. tsc space constant demo dot ts. I have not initialized any value to the variable. I have not initialized any value to the variable. Cannot assign p name because it is a constant. Suppose let me remove this. Let me remove this. Okay. Now let's try tsc space constant demo dot ts. tsc space constant demo dot ts. I just declared a variable. Declaration must be initialized. So initialization is mandatory for the constant variables, or initialization is optional for the constant variables? Initialization is mandatory or initialization is optional? Initialization is mandatory for the constant variables, because constant variables are nothing but final variables in the Java. Constant variables initialization is mandatory. Once we initialize it, that variable value, it cannot be modified. It cannot be modified. Compile and execute. tsc space constant demo.ts, which is for transpilation. This is for transpilation. Node space constant demo.js. Then it is printing that value. It is printing that value. So like this, you can declare constant variables in the file constant demo.ts. Constant demo.ts. So whenever we are working with JavaScript or TypeScript, you need to know about where, let, and constant. This is an important interview question. What is the difference between constant, where, and let? Where is used to declare the variable, it is a functional scope. Let is a keyword used to declare the variable, it is a block scope. Constant is the keyword which is used to declare constant variables. Whenever you go for constant variables, initialization is mandatory. And once we have declared and initialized the context variable, we cannot modify the value. We cannot modify the value. We cannot modify the value. Got my point? Where, let, and constants. Where, let, and constants. Got it? where, let, and constant. Clear for all of you? Very good. Guys, please practice today these three concepts. What is where, what is let, what is constant. Today's class notes and video also I'm going to share with you people. I will upload the class notes and class video to our Telegram group right now. To get the class notes and class video from the Telegram, join in our Telegram group. I have given Telegram note. I have given the notes in the Telegram group yesterday. Today also I will give it once again. So this is the link to join in our Telegram group. Yesterday's video uploaded to YouTube channel, guys. Yesterday's video uploaded to YouTube channel. This is our Telegram group I have posted, and I'm giving my YouTube channel URL. Yesterday's video, seventh class. Yesterday is the seventh session. That video also uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you will get the updates from that. You will get the updates from that. Very good. Yeah, this is our channel URL. Please subscribe to our session so that you will get that video. Yesterday's video already uploaded yesterday. Today's video also will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So please practice that. Please practice that. Yesterday's video already uploaded. Okay, cool. Sir, limit is extended to 500, sir. For the Spring also, for Angular also, limit is extended to 500. Yeah, good. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow.